Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Today we're doing a flip through of my reading journal. So this journal I am using in 2025, but I've also used it in 2024. So there's a lot going on in it already. It's pretty full, but I have space for next year as well. I was hoping to use this for several years, but I'm only going to get the 2 years out of it. So this journal I made using some packaging, like some Amazon packaging, and I used wall filler paste to create this raised scrollwork pattern on the cover and a stencil, and then I painted the whole thing in dark brown acrylic paint and some lighter brown. I was being messy with it. I wasn't being strict on where I was putting anything. I was just having fun with it. The journal is divided into 3 sections. We have my reading list, and then reading challenges, and then my reading diary. The journal has gotten so thick it's hard for me to even open it. Throughout this journal I use a lot of templates that you can get on my Ko-fi page for free. They're completely free on my Ko-fi and my blog, and then I use some of the kits from my Etsy shop, and then I use some ephemera from Paper World and Amazon, like washi tapes and stuff like that, and I use some vintage ephemera from the Graphics Fairy and the New York Public Library, where you can download loads of images completely free. So I'll link what I can in the description. So first off is my reading list. This section is just this size, not too big yet. So we start off with this. This journal is a junk journal style. I don't know if I said that yet. It is a junk journal. So it's full of things like this, pockets, loads of ephemera, envelopes, things like that. So we have a little letter. This I think came from the Graphics Fairy. I don't really have a point to this part. There's nothing in this, but I just love having pockets and envelopes and little things like that just for decoration. So this is the reading list. And this is not finished, so this is just a placeholder just to show you how the space will be used. So this is a printout of my Google Sheets spreadsheet, which is free as well on my blog, and it tracks a bit more than this. I just printed what would fit on a single A4 page. So it's my list of books, the author, series title, story type, pages, if it was on my TBR or not, when I started it, how many days it took to read, when I finished it, and my rating. And then there's some other things on the Google Sheet. In this section, originally I was writing down everything, listing everything, because I used graph paper to create this little booklet, but I just did not like doing this. My writing got really messy. It was difficult to do it. I have a board that I put in underneath the pages so that I can write easily on it, but I just did not like doing it. And since I was using my Google Sheets spreadsheets anyway to track my books, I decided I would print it and just stick it in, and it's much tidier. This is going to be different. I'm going to print it. I've changed the colors to be higher contrast for printing, and I will likely print it on some copy stained paper so that it goes nicely. I may put it in differently altogether. I'm not sure. It will essentially look like this. And then there's space for a lot of books, but I seriously doubt I will fit that. Or I seriously doubt I'll fill all these pages, but there's room then for next year's list as well. And then I created a space for fan fiction. I haven't even thought about how I'm going to fill this in yet, but there it is. And then we have my series tracker in this pocket made with this really nice fabric. And in here is this little mini booklet, and I've made these templates for tracking my series. So for Cressley Cole's Immortals After Dark series, I was using these coffee cups or teacups, and just colouring in the coffee on them for each one that I've read, and I'm gonna have to print another one for her because I don't think she's anywhere near finished with this series, and we have another one coming out next year, I think. Really looking forward to it. So I might print another one. I might actually colour in these guys as well as part of it. And yeah, then I have one for roses and some more, yeah, different ones with roses and coffee cups. And then in this booklet as well, there are pockets that have some more series tracker. These are free on my Ko-fi page. So next then is where I will be putting my statistics for the year. So I just printed a page from my Google Sheets spreadsheet again, just to give you an idea of what it's going to be like. I'm going to print this. I'm actually going to print it landscape instead of portrait, and again change the colors so that they're higher contrast, and probably print it on some coffee stained paper, and maybe I'll put a vintage letter on the back. I'm not entirely sure yet. Just, it will be in here. And what else we have here is just some ephemera stuck into this pocket. It's a nice card. I think that's from the Graphics Fairy. And a nice bookmark. And postcard. Just some nice items. Blank on the back. So next year I may do something different with my statistics tracking. But it will be likely that I'll just print that. I might print my story graph wrap up for the year as well and put that in here. I know there's one from Goodreads as well, but I didn't really care for it. So, but I love the story graph, so I think I'll do that. And we have this lovely envelope. And then we have this empty space that I haven't had any ideas for. There's obviously something there before that I decided I didn't like. And in here I just have some vintage letters. This section for the reading list, I was kind of thinking in terms of letters, vintage letters and documents. So I have a few lovely prints of letters. And I think I got all of these off of the New York Public Library. Lovely invitation to someone's home to look at their decorations in the Renaissance style. And I think this is a marriage certificate. Yeah. I love having things like this in my journal, even if I don't do anything with them. I just love having them there to take out and look at when I feel like it. But all of these are nicely blank on the back, so I could use these to put my statistics on the back of them. And they're going to that pocket there. That's another pocket. And then I love using this paper, this what do you call it? I think it's acid paper or something like that. This see-through paper, but it's really thick and strong. I love using that as pages because I love seeing something behind it. And then in here is where I was planning to put my book bracket, which I haven't made yet, but well, I have the books picked out, but they're just in a folder on my computer. I haven't designed it yet because it's going to have to be vintagey looking. So this will go in here somewhere. This is a pocket, so it'll be in this space. And now we're on to the reading challenge book or section. So that's this thick. This my reading diary is the biggest. So that's the size of that one. This book is Cinderella themed. So here we go, a nice pocket, some nice shoes. And they're not very Cinderella, they're just kind of there for the pocket. And we start off with the romance books, the Bookopoly that I made at the end of last year. And I didn't enjoy this challenge as much as the other Bookopolies I've made, and the one I've made for 2025 I'm really excited about. But this one, I like how I made it look in the journal. I didn't like doing the challenge so much. So here and there's a page from a Cinderella book. And then I have these two, these are pockets. I don't have any cards left, but there was the cards for the Bookopoly game were inside there. And then in this pocket I had the I had printouts of the prompts in there, and then this is the list of the prompts for each space on the board. In this I had just individual cutouts of each prompt for my tracking section. And then in here I kept the individual prompt in there for the one that I was currently working on. And then this is the board, and it's a nice board. It's like got a cool vintage bookish aesthetic, and it was all based on romance books. That's probably why I didn't enjoy it as much. There's not enough leeway for me to read other things, because romance is what I read the most, but it's not the only thing that I read, and sometimes I'm just not in the mood. And then in here is where I did my tracking. So this is not properly finished, but this is how I was tracking. I put the prompt down here, which those were in that envelope, and then these are the cards that were in these pockets. So there are different ones on the download. They have different prompts, but for me I changed it to whenever I got one of these ones, I think. Some of them would be that my husband would pick a book for me, and then the other ones would be I just take a book from my TBR pile. So I still just need to fill in the book titles, and I'm going to write a little bit about what I thought about the books. And these are little doors. So that's all the tracking, and I need to fill that in. And then the next challenge, then we have some more Cinderella theming, and a little window pocket. Nothing in it, just a nice little interactive element. So this one then is my 100 books reading challenge. So each envelope stands for 10 books, and the last one then is 20 books. So they just open up like that. So each one just lists the books. It has the book covers and a little list of the titles, which is like really hard to read, but it's there. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, but I love how it looks. So I read just over 60 books this year, and my goal was to do this in about 2 years. I should get this finished in 2025 pretty easily. And then this space is for the last 20 books. Next is the Bookopoly game I made for 2025, which is a dark cottagecore Bookopoly, and I am so excited to do this game this year. So here is the board. This is all free on my Ko-fi page and on my blog. I just love the board, and it follows this kind of a story. Like, just when I was coming up with the prompts, it was just easier to kind of have a story going on with it. So the story is that you're in your cottage in the forest, and then you leave to go for a walk in the forest, and you encounter this strange doorway that leads you to this enchanted castle. And then in the end, for some reason, you end up back in your cottage. So in the download, you get that board, and then the rules, how to play, and a list of the prompts. And some other just little extras just for journaling. I have all these little fussy cuts. A little envelope, and the cards. So we have spell cards and potion cards. These are the spell cards, and you should be able to print them back to front pretty easily, hopefully. I was able to do it easily anyway. And yeah, so I have the prompts printed on the back. So the way the game is, you can take a potion card or a spell card when you land on any of the corner spaces. And there's obviously a ton of them. But like there's, you know, there's rules, but they're not set in stone. You can play it any way that you want. You can even just read every prompt. It doesn't matter. It's just, you know, a bit of fun. And it's all about reading. And then some other little pieces of ephemera, some images of your character, each of the corner spaces. So I haven't decided yet how I'm going to journal this, but I do have this section made here for tracking. So this is on Ko-fi as well. It's just these little envelopes, and each one has this little teeny tiny card inside. And what I will likely do is print the book covers and stick them on the back, and I'll write something on this space. So yeah, each envelope has one of these little guys. Love this page. Love this way of tracking for a reading challenge. And I will likely do some journaling based on this because I'm just so excited for it and I love the style of it. The next few pages then are blank because I don't have other reading challenges planned for the journal. I am doing some more on Storygraph, and I will probably end up doing more during the year. Thinking of doing the magical readathon this year. We'll see if I do that. It will end up in the journal because there's so many cool things to go with it. But at the moment, this is all, it's not blank, but there's no challenges. Another one of these. Some more cards with envelopes. Some more Cinderella theming. And then a few of the pages have pockets, not all of them. It's actually some of the story of Cinderella. And now we're on to the reading diary. So this is the big part of the book. So we start with just this kind of introductory page. There's nothing really here. There's a pocket and this blank card. And then for the start we have 2024. This was originally something else. So it was originally to be annotations, but I did not like how it looked, so I decided to turn it into a title page for 2024. And then on the other side of it is my wrap up for 2024. So this is these you can get on my Ko-fi page as well, these wrap up cards to use in your journal, and they each have a question on them to wrap up your year of reading. So I haven't filled it in yet, obviously. But I don't want to fill it in until it's actually the end of the year. So like January 1st or 2nd or something like that, I will start to fill these in. But I want 2024 to be over before I fill in things like this. And I printed mine on regular paper and then stuck them down on some black card. And I was thinking of doing some collaging on the back, but I'll see how I feel. That's kind of a lot of work. So yeah, all of these you can get them on my Ko-fi page. So that's for my 2024 wrap up. In here I'll do a title page for 2024 or 2025 rather. Or I might just do a divider page and then have 2025 here. Since I won't fit any more years into the journal, I might just make this section here for 2025. And I will probably do something else. I probably won't do the cards again. I'll do something a bit different, just for variety. So now we come into my reading. I don't like doing monthly reading entries in my reading journal. It's too much work for me. So I broke my reading into seasons. So we have winter, spring, summer and autumn. And this page here has just got some pockets and an envelope, and then each of these sections has a pocket in the side. So we're going to start here with winter, and in here I have, each one has this little booklet, and in this we have my little reading diary. Each one has these little headings: book of the season, fanfic of the season, first read, last read, and cover, author, most read format, new to me, books that I bought, and then my reading reflections. And this one is book reviews and annotations, but it's just annotations there. So each booklet is basically the same as this. And yeah, I filled them in with some covers, some collaging, and yeah, lots of writing. Well, not too much writing, but I just wrote in reading reflections. I just wrote about my reading for that season, where I was, why I picked certain books, things like that. Just a little diary about reading. So then this is the winter collage page. There's a few interactive elements on this page. So first we have this little pocket here, and then this flips over and we have this envelope actually here in this little tuck corner. And there's another pocket here, and in here I printed my monthly storygraph wrap-up graphic. They're like for social media, but I decided to print them and put them on little cards to put them into the seasons of my reading diary. In winter, because winter includes December from the previous year, but I was doing something else in 2023, and I didn't read any books in February, so there's only January there. And for this section I used the Winter Bliss kit from my Etsy shop. So this and this and this, they're all from the Winter Bliss kit. And all of this, they're all from the Winter Bliss kit. And here because I was originally planning on using this journal for several years, I have these few cards here, and my plan was to just have a quick reference for all the books that I read in that season. But I'm not going to get a bunch of years out of this journal. I'm only going to get 2. So I have a book list here for 2024, but I'm going to scrap that and then make this my 2025 reading reflections journal, because I'm not going to have enough space to fit 2 booklets in each section. It would just make the journal too chunky. So this one will be my 2025 little reading diary. So next then we have spring, and here is the little booklet. It's basically the same thing. I did the book list in there, and then I have all my headings with my my journal entry for it and some covers. I did a lot less collaging in this one. This I printed the annotations on and made just these little envelopes out of them. So yeah, annotation from some of my books from spring. I have these because I read mostly ebooks, and I can export my annotations, so it keeps my little notes and any emojis or anything like that I put in them, they come out on it as well. Yeah, I'm not so good at writing book reviews. So that's my spring booklet. And then for the spring collage page, I have used the blue shabby blue botanical kit from my Etsy shop to create the collage page here and here. And here is, it comes with this small journal in the kit. So I printed a few of the pages and made this little booklet here, which I will use for my 2025 reading diary. And then here we have the pocket. In this envelope, there's some more of the headings for the reading diary. Little envelope. And then here we have my story graphics. I love how there's so many ways that you can hide things in a junk journal style journal. So I can have these lovely vintage things that go with the theming of the book, and then still have these modern colorful things in it as well, just hiding. Next then we have summer. So for summer's booklet, I actually really like this booklet. It's probably my favorite one. We have this little hidden page, and inside here is just the kit that I used for the summer section is the Cottagecore Life kit from my Etsy shop. And in that kit you get this envelope and these stereographs of cottages. And I just love those. So then in this journal, I made a little mistake when I was wrapping up my reading for summer. I can't remember when I did it, but some of the books I actually didn't finish in the summer, they're in autumn. But I don't know if I was too soon with it, where I thought I'd be finished then, or I did it too late and I was confused about when I actually finished them. But either way, there's some wrong books in this, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so this is the summer section. These little dried flowers, I got these on Shein. They have a few different little boxes of flowers for crafting, and they come in nice colors. This is a pocket, and then here in this pocket is this really lovely envelope from the kit. I have my my wrap-up cards from Storygraph. And then we flip this over and there is a good bit more collaging on this one. And then I'll have 2025 in here somewhere. There's a pocket as well with this nice envelope from the kit. A few more elements from the kit. So that is summer. And then finally we have autumn. If you watched my original flip through of the 2024 mid-year use of the journal, there was a different book here. So I have gotten rid of that one, and I got one that I made another one the same size as this and just slotted it in. It's not really part of the reading diary signature, but you know, it's in there, it's fine. The autumn section then is a bit different. So we have this cover page for autumn, and then this is the collage page, and I use the Witch's Grimoire kit from my Etsy shop for this. And then we have the pocket here at the back instead of at the front. And I used the journal that comes in that kit, but the journal is quite big, so there's a good few pages in it. So I would use this journal for 2024 and for 2025. So same thing again, all the headings filled in. I accidentally printed this with autumn 2025 first, so I had to add a little 2024. And then there's the center of the book, so I will start with 2025 from here. And I loved using this for my reading reflections. I love having these fully collaged pages. It kind of makes it easier. There's like less effort that I have to put in then. I just added in little cards and stuff for writing so I can see the text. So that is my autumn book, and because it's a good bit thicker than the other ones, I kind of was just putting it on the side like that because it bulks up this page a lot. If it's fully inside the pocket, just in the center there, it makes it bubble. So up here, or in here in this pocket, these are just some blank cards. I'll use them for my Storygraph wrap up next year. And then this one then with the 2024 has my story graphics from this year. So November, October and September. Why did I read that backwards? September, October and November. So that's autumn. That is it for the reading diary. Then the book is blank. There's nothing left. And what I will do is because this is just a plain collage, like it's pretty flat, there's no or only 2 interactive elements, I might do some journaling or do a collage page for autumn next year. It would break the, you know, the cycle, the way, the system I've set up where each season has one collage page. But we'll see, we'll see. I might even add more interactive elements to this. I might add a flip page or something. I don't know. I'll see what happens next season. And then for finishing off the book, that's just more ephemera for more kit. What I want to do is create a collage like ending to the book. Like I'll put in journaling about the journal. So what it was like to do my reading journal in seasons instead of in months. How that affected my reading, or how it affected how I thought about my books and how I collaged about the things. Just things like that. Just about keeping a reading journal as a junk journal. So that's it. That is my whole reading journal. It is big. It is a chunky one. So, and I hope it doesn't bulk up too much in 2025. It shouldn't, because I have all the collaging added. It's really just filling in information now. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you are interested, maybe inspired to try some new things in your reading journal. I know it's pretty different to do your reading journal as a junk journal. I haven't seen many other people do this. There's a few out there, but mostly reading journals seem to be bullet journals, and I don't really like that. It's just not for me. I like collaging and a mess. I like to make a mess. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.